Dragons every...
No, even.
Even lived in the sky.
These are Leighton Primary's reading champions. Year 6 boys who've made a commitment to help and inspire younger readers.
If you want to become a reading champion, you've got to stick to it and not just come when you feel like it.
A reading champion encourages little kids to read more books.
I think it's good because it's easier to teach them how to read and spell, and it's teaching them how to use computers and keyboards as well.
The school has put reading at the heart of its literacy agenda, and support staff have been key to the development of enthusiastic automatic readers. Rachael Dyer is the school's learning mentor. She took it upon herself to introduce the Reading Champions scheme at Leighton with a view to raising boys' achievement at Key Stage 2.
The boys are very relaxed when they come to club. They have the opportunity to chat with each other, to socialise, but also to be learning at the same time. They're able to read, they're able to play the literacy games, literacy on the laptop. So yeah, it's a very relaxed atmosphere, and hopefully it's encouraging the younger ones to read.
I probably come every Monday, and I like coming because it improves my reading.
I gave him a sticker because he was reading very well, and he read parts of the story, as in if he was there.
I've chosen The Sock Gobbler and Other Stories because I like made up and exciting stories.
It was said that
Today, Ryan is helping his younger brother Tyler.
years ago, dragons were the terror of towns.
Yeah.
He's helping me move through the words to get more up with.
My mum thinks it's good because she found it hard reading with Tyler, but now he's come to club, she thinks he's getting better and it's a lot more easier to read with him.
They're enjoying reading so much more that they're picking up books at home, they're looking at magazines, they're talking about reading within the classroom, they're reading more, and achieving their targets within the class with regards to their reading.
As part of the project, Rachael invites reading ambassadors into the school. Footballers from Crewe Alexandra frequently pop in, as does Inspector Mike Sutton.
Why do you think a white boiler suit for driving a steam train's good?
I think it's bad.
Why?
Because it'll get dirty.
It will get filthy, never mind dirty, because a steam train runs on coal, doesn't it? There's lots of fumes. I'm a British Transport Police Inspector based here at Crewe, and they asked me to come along. Came along, saw the project and was enthused by the staff here as well, not just the children. Well, reading's important because the boys are already enthusiastic, but it's just given them a bit of a direction and a leading role in making sure that they read as much as possible.
Mike helps me with the words because I hardly knew any of the words, like the countries, before he came and helped me. Makes me want to read a lot more because I found more books that are more exciting, and like I said, it really helps me with words and things that I don't know.
Being part of the community and working with the community is something that's really important to me. And to come into the school and see the enthusiasm that's already here and being able to assist in that gives me a fantastic reward as well.
The feedback really comes from parents, staff, head teachers, teaching assistants, and it means a great lot because we understand that the boys are working hard for this and we're all achieving, we're all hitting the same targets at the end of the day.
Okay, everybody. Reader of the week for this week, for working hard and not being silly, is Daniel Leake.
Leighton Primary is on the industrial outskirts of Crewe. As regeneration has changed the area, the number of children with significant barriers to learning has become more manageable, but teachers and support staff still face a range of difficulties with literacy in each year group. The Learning Mentor supports the school's drive to create learners capable of achieving their very best. It's essential for Rachael to identify underlying problems which could jeopardise learning.
there's any issues with the children within the classroom, outside the classroom at home, I work with those children on a one-to-one basis or a small group, either with the children or sometimes with the parents as well. And then hopefully when they go back into the classroom, those issues have been dealt with, they can go back into the classroom then with a clear head and then hopefully crack on with their learning. I mean, every child matters, everybody should be working to that. All my work fits in somewhere along, involving the families, even the reading champions, the mentoring side also comes into it. So most of my work should actually fit into the framework.
Head teacher Glyn Turner and the school governors have recognised the benefits of investing in support staff and actively encourage their continued professional development.
In comparison to other authorities, we receive much less per pupil. And you have to take into account that you may have a child living in similar social circumstances to a child in an urban area or in a city area. But when it comes to the teaching assistants, they are incredibly valued. As far as funding them in terms of their particular specialisms are concerned, the payoff is in respect of the children's improvement in their literacy skills, their literacy knowledge.
Training and performance management of support staff at Leighton are the responsibility of Vicky Robertson, the school's SENCO.
His reading was quite tentative, quite staccato. Would you say his fluency and his expression has improved?
Certainly.
As part of an education improvement partnership in Crewe, Vicky is even offering training in reading support to a TA from a neighbouring school. Both schools can strengthen their practice through networking opportunities like this.
The head teacher asked me to come along to do the course in conjunction with a Year 3 teacher we have at the school. It has been identified as a best practice and it was something we'd like to introduce into our school.
Networking and collaboration is really important to our school. We've gained substantially from our colleagues within our local excellence cluster.
We have found through the benchmarking of all the children in school that there is children who need an individual approach to guided reading. This course is an opportunity for career development. Unfortunately, teaching assistants aren't allowed to teach reading recovery, which I feel is a great shame. But I have gone back into school and I've trained 2 other TAs in benchmarking, and actually I have been appointed leading practitioner in our school for supporting readers.
Well, in this school we have a Key Stage 2 teaching assistant who works with a class of more vulnerable children. So she knows exactly where they're at in their reading. She would do a regular assessment on them, which she would obviously show to me. We would look at the strategies that they're using. But also teaching assistants are encouraged to develop their own practice by foundation degrees, HLTA status. We have courses which we run in school that the TA in Key Stage 2 is on the writing course at the moment. It's a wonderful opportunity for shared discussions about children and strategies that they use.
Jane Robinson is a higher level teaching assistant working at Key Stage 2. She's been involved in many of the literacy activities we've observed at Leighton. Today, Jane is supporting Year 6 children she's known since Year 3. To give them a taste of school life beyond Year 6, the class have been making slippers with the help of a design and technology teacher from a local secondary. The children are about to follow up the project with some written work led by teacher Jo Dyson.
What we're going to do is we're going to write a set of instructions for somebody else to read so that they can make the slippers.
I was involved again right from the beginning of the unit and helped with the planning of all the sections of it and where it needed to go, right up from the planning to make them and preparing to make them, to the writing of instructions on how they made them, which they enjoyed doing because they targeted who they were writing them for. So, and then they could imagine then explaining to a friend how to make the slippers.
Numbers. Yeah, because we've all done board points there.
I worked with a group that needed a lot more time on explaining what we were going to write and who the audience was and how to actually get it down onto paper, writing instructions.
With pupils, Jane has created many of the displays around the school. This is a visual narrative relating the slipper's journey through a single day.
It's kind of giving us an idea, because it gives us an idea that you can make a story out of anything, even slippers.
Teaching assistants at Leighton are also helping make personalised learning a reality.
I'm very involved in setting individual targets for children, and often with the lower ability, whether it be individuals or small groups, it's small or achievable targets.
Personalisation of learning is much more than an ideology. It's essential to the children's own learning and understanding of their own development as learners.
Often with their writing, it needs to be done at a much slower pace, and I'm helping to remind children of different strategies we use to improve and progress with their writing.
Jane has also assisted Jo to come up with a practical way for pupils across the school to assess their own literacy work and strive to improve at every stage.
It's a credit card we're using, and we're editing a partner's work and checking if, from the beginning to the end, if there's any complex sentences and punctuation.
The credit cards were designed by Jo Dyson, and I had some input in the ideas on how we were going to put that together to use with the children. For the struggling writers, we brought it right back down to really basic instructions that they can do by step, bullet pointed, step by step ideas to help them target their own writing.
Exclamation mark. No.
It's only me opening now.
Yeah.
As someone who has worked with this class for several years, Jane is in a very good position to help the learning mentor in preparing the pupils for the leap into Key Stage 3.
Mostly in Year 6, I run a transition programme in the last half term with the Year 6 pupils, ready to move them to the high school. So we do an hour a week talking about bullying and body language, about packing their bags, being organised, how they're going to get to high school.
We're planning on doing some trips to the schools with the children. We've set out their own little books that they can do some activities in. They're going to write about their feelings and their concerns.
Feeling dead excited because you're going to be able to do a lot more harder things, and because they've got a wider range of materials to use.
I don't think we'll ever have as good as teachers we've got here now, but I really like English, and I can't wait to go up in secondary school and do it.
In their various guises, support staff at Leighton are making a crucial contribution to literacy.
The work that TAs do is absolutely vital, and often they are working with the most vulnerable children. And we expect them to know exactly where to go next. So we need to skill them.